some impact because of those particular artists. You know, they're pretty loudmouthed about their politics. So I'm hoping that it's really dug in. There's been a lot of calls about it, actually, you know, but when you say impact, it's hard to gauge in this particular election year what impact means, you know, because every time you think you make an impact, something even crazier happens. So I'm not really sure.
Nora Guthrie sagt, also es ist schwer zu beurteilen, wie viel Einfluss dieser Song bisher schon gehabt hat auf diese besondere Wahl in den USA. Das muss man ja auch sagen. Er kursiert im Netz und es gab wohl auch eine Menge Anrufe und zumindest ein paar Rückmeldungen. Aber bei dieser besonderen Wahl eben sowas schwer zu sagen. Trotzdem würde mich natürlich interessieren, was sagen Sie denn zu dieser Lesart dieses Songs?
To be honest, you know, I lived in this apartment complex when I was really just a little girl. We lived there for about 2 years. Just the background story. The apartment complex was called Beach Haven. And of course, I just remember it as a child. And this researcher in the archives, Will Kaufman, came up with all this information that my father had written a lot about life in this apartment. I was really kind of surprised to find out that there was so much bad dealings going on in terms of racism and things like that happening. I knew that Trump's father, Fred Trump, was the landlord. I had discovered that on my own because I actually found the original lease where my father had signed the paper on a Trump contract. And actually, I thought at the time, this was, you know, maybe 5 years ago, I thought that's kind of really funny to see Woody Guthrie's signature on a Trump document. Just that alone was somewhat surreal. And this researcher really discovered the underpinnings, the dark underside of life in this complex because they were making it almost impossible for any black people, African American people, to live there. So of course, you know, as a little child, I wasn't aware of this, but the more that we dug into the story and I learned about the story, it was really kind of shocking and disgusting to find out what was going on in real estate land, you know, in Brooklyn at the time.
And what do you think of the song? The music they wrote to it?
You know, Ryan had gotten in touch with me when this kind of first broke, the news that Woody had written a number of songs actually about Trump, Fred Trump, the father. I did get quite a lot of inquiries and calls and emails from a number of musicians that asked if they could set it to music. And I had worked with Tom Morello before on a number of different things. And anyone who was associated with him was someone that I felt comfortable working with. So that's how Ryan Harvey got into the picture, because he's a